Salutations everyone, and welcome to Brainy Reviews ShipLord. ShipLord is a side-scrolling energy collection game by the developers Just Lead Studios, published by Kuvi Key. And before we get into the gameplay proper or the story, let's first take a look at the options menu, shall we? Now for the controls, there is analog control support in addition to fully rebindable keys, so if you have any particular preference for how the games run, you're able to do so. Analog control doesn't show up here, but I've been told that it exists, and I'll leave that up to you to find it should you decide to get this game. As for the graphics settings, it's a bit sparse, but ShipLord looks fantastic regardless, and runs well on any of the graphics options they allow, even though these are all presets. Oh, I didn't mean to go to fastest. Fantastic is fine. Screen resolutions unfortunately have a lot of defaults, and I think it's defaulting to my second monitor, which is weird if that's the case. If not, it doesn't let me select anything else. But regardless, the game looks pretty. Anyway, onto the instructions that the game gives. It runs through the entire list of your abilities as well as the idea behind it, so let's tell you what they say. The idea behind ShipLord is to dodge incoming asteroids while trying to collect as much energy as possible. So you unlock new bonus features, since the rewards for wood, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond are very different, and each upper rank gives better rewards. And lastly, the more energy you collect, the more powerful upgrades you unlock. You also face boss fights with unique game mechanics that also change depending on the rank you're playing. As this is an independent developer that's not exactly based in the United States or any real English-speaking country, it's kind of to be expected that their translation's not the greatest, but that'll probably be fixed before too long. Anyway, this is the scoring system permitted in ShipLord. The energy you collect is called Quasars, and with each higher level of score, you get more upgrade points. These upgrade points are later spent to improve your ship, which will be shown later. Now your primary ability is the shield, the one you unlock first. It is a emergency destroy any asteroid that's about to touch me button, and get any energy I need to collect. The force field acts as a time pause feature which stops all asteroids in their tracks, and the energy collection field does the obvious and just collects all energy on screen to you. Now, let's begin the game, shall we? We're going to be going on to level 4, which is the first level that all your abilities are unlocked for your use. Now, ShipLord drops you right into the game, no real warm-up or time needed, but at least it's nice enough not to give you anything that's trying to hit you while you collect your first bits of energy, or Quasars. And you're collecting these Quasars for your nation and people of Earth, while trying to stay out of the grasp of the asteroids. Now, the story itself is fairly sparse, but acts as more of an excuse for the gameplay, which the gameplay is very solid. As you can see here, your controls are very tight, and it's definitely very rewarding to not die and keep collecting these energy bits. Now, as for your actual abilities, I can show them all in a second once they're all fully charged, as they take a few seconds to charge in between their use. Or at least, before you can use them at the very beginning. Now, one of the issues that I encounter is that the Quasars can be hidden behind asteroids. I don't know if that was exactly intentional or not, but it gets annoying when energy will spawn under the asteroid and you won't be able to figure out where the next one spawned. As you can see, it's very, very easy to die, as the game does not like holding your hand, in at least permitting you to dodge these quite easily. Aside from that, I did say the visuals are fantastic, and just take a look at that planet in the background. Looks great, doesn't it? How the shadows look to make it look like an actual three-dimensional object, yet it remains distinct enough where you know you're not going to crash into it anytime soon. Now, occasionally these planets can be too bright, and the Quasars can be hidden by them, but it's not that big of an issue because they're still fairly obvious considering their pulsating nature. Now, to show you the actual abilities, as we're starting to get to a point where we actually need them. For instance, the time pause ability does this. All the asteroids are frozen in their movement, and some will actually drift away from the energy bits, so you can go and grab them in the event that they happen to freeze over one of them. Energy collection does this as such, transforms them into a more mobile form, and they'll fly towards your ship. And so I don't die. Shield is better used offensively to get rid of all the things in your way, as you try to collect enough energy to get, hopefully, the diamond level. Now, considering I'm commentating while doing this, naturally my skills and reflexes are going to be a lot slower than they should, so I'm not going to bother continuing to play this level because I'm just going to keep dying while I'm commentating on it. And before we go on to the last segment that I'd like to just show off, we're going to take a look at the upgrades on Unlockables, which is the hallmark of this game, as it's an arcade-style game. Now, the upgrades range from decreasing energy spawn time to decreasing the cooldown time to activate each of your abilities, all of which are very useful, if minor increments. I maxed out the energy spawn time decrease just because I wanted to collect as much as possible and give myself as much leeway, but there are many different styles. Like, I suppose with all the upgrade points you can get, you could boost your shield time, or decrease your shield time rather, to the maximum level and just spam the shield constantly. And while those times seem very, very long in between each use, the abilities recharge while they're active, in addition to the fact that they're very just like, one ability, the shield will clear the entire screen. The slow time will stop any asteroids from spawning, allowing you to collect whatever energy you need to, and the energy collection just makes it so you don't actually have to play the game. You just collect, and you just hit a button and collect all energy, which makes sense why these abilities have such a high time state. Now, the unlockables range from bonus levels, of which I don't have any yet because they have very high unlock requirements, such as the bonus boss 1 I've heard requires you to beat all other bosses, i.e. complete the game, and the bonus levels require you to win the majority of the levels on Diamond in the first place. And for ships, they are visually distinct and very colorful. As you travel down the list, you get to see these unlock requirements, some of them meaning you have to beat certain levels with a certain level of metal. With most of them not being diamond, a lot of them are supposed to be platinum as well, or at least a lot of the unlocks they give early on are available, and in fact I will select something other than the pink ship, like I'll take the gray explorer. Now, this game did have a small issue at first when I was reviewing this the first time, although it seems like they might have fixed it, in that the first boss, which curb stomped me so hard, is that the difficulty of the boss was so high. And I'm going to try this on Diamond. I'm going to make no mistake in that I'm probably going to die to this boss multiple times, but we might as well see.
Scanners are picking a very large amount of KSAR straight ahead, but we're bound to intercept home enemy ships as well. Be sure we're not the only one with this information. Sir, we're being hit with the energy beam. I'm afraid we lost everything except the movement controls.
Oh, you Earthling scum. How dare you collect quasar for your puny planet? This is your end, and the end of your planet. Die, scum!
You have to admit that the enemy ship looks nice. Admittedly, the dialogue leaves something to be desired, but I think the dialogue is hilarious in its own way. Now, of course, this is diamond level difficulty, so let's go into a lighter difficulty and skip the dialogue this time around. As you can see, there's a very large difference between the hardest mode being basically a bullet hell and gold difficulty, which apparently they also fixed, because earlier in the week this was almost impossible for me.
Your ship is so puny. No wonder I keep missing. Let's see how you do against this.
Okay. And just to say, they might not have the best dialogue, but the way they deliver it is hilarious. Like, he sounds threatening, he tries to act threatening, and he just sounds hilarious to me instead. I mean, you don't play a game like this for plot, you play a game like this for skill, and you can definitely be very skillful with this. Unfortunately, you do have a minimum distance movement when you play it with the arrow keys, and it'd probably be better to play this with an analog stick. As playing this with the arrow keys means that no matter what you do, you have a minimum distance that you will move. Even if you only want to move a very small amount in order to dodge a projectile, you might very well find yourself dodging into yet another. And you also have a very set move distance with this. And thus every time I'm moving, I'm risking accidentally over-judging or under-judging how far I'm supposed to move, and thus I'll end up dying. Now, I will beat this boss on camera if I can, but if not, that basically concludes my review of ShipLord. Overall, a very fun game. I'd rate it about an 8 out of 10. Aside from a few movement value problems and a few options menu problems of not enough customizability and the fact that I'm playing this on a keyboard which colors my perceptions a lot, the game's very fun, the voice acting is hilarious, and the
Large
visuals
chunks
are
of asteroids
amazing.
are heading our way. This could be our only hope.
And so CF should be dead in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The ship is destroyed. This will surely anger the Crypt Empire.
Doesn't give much of a explanation of what the Crypt Empire actually is, but this is hilarious to me. Anyway, now I can actually show off the upgrades menu if you wish to see. It's very simple, really. Completing this on gold gives you 4 upgrade points, and I'm just going to dump them all into shields for when I inevitably try playing this game later. Anyway, that was my review on ShipLord. Gave it an 8 out of 10. And farewell, ShipLord can be bought on Steam for, I think, $10, which I think is worth the game, as it's a very replayable one. Anyway, hope you've all enjoyed this review. I know I enjoyed making it, and I say farewell to you.